So we're here with Tim after today's narrow defeat at Walton Hersham. What's your initial thoughts after that one?
Just really proud of the boys. You know, we've come to the league leaders. I thought, we were a bit all at sea maybe for the first 20-25 minutes. And then I think after that there was only really one team in it. And, I think they were scrambling at the end. They were absolutely desperate for the final whistle. And, where we are still building this season, we're still getting better all the time. To say that, we've taken the league leaders, we deserve so much more, and it's frustrating in that respect. But yeah, just absolute pride in the lads' work rate, their desire, their will never to give up, their way, their adaptation skills as well, being able to adapt during the game. I was just full of pride and a slight bit of frustration.
So if we go back to the start of the game, we had one change with Owen coming in for Josh Carmichael.
Yeah, obviously Shuey suspended today after picking up 5 yellows in 4 games. He's got a lot of yellows. But yeah, it was a natural transition to put Owen in there. Obviously, it's a nice thing. I always talk about our recruitment. I need players who have got a bit of versatility about them, and Owen's obviously got that in terms of being able to go in there. And I had no issues or worries about putting him in there. So I thought, like I say, we're without one of our biggest players as well today, and dominated the last hour of a game against the league leaders.
So then the game kicks off and they started quite brightly and took the lead just after 10 minutes.
Yeah, I thought in the first 5 minutes we started well, and then they did a couple of things that, they're a good side. They play some good football. They've got different ways of playing, and the way they played at the start was probably a bit different to what we were expecting. So we had to do some problem solving on the side as well. And like I say, we were just a bit all over the place, and then that led to a couple of lacks in concentration, which ultimately led to their goal, unfortunately. But yeah, once we'd figured it out, once we got hold of it, then I didn't think we were under much pressure after that.
And we really grew into the half and creating chances by the end of the half.
Exactly, yeah. It was just that little bit of quality that was probably lacking, without really testing the keeper. I thought the last 20, even 25 minutes of the half, I thought we were on top. We had settled into it a little bit more. We were a lot more solid defensively as well, which I think was important. Obviously, they had a bit of the ball, but half time we kind of got in and worked on a bit of a way that we could put a bit more pressure on the ball as well, because the pitch is obviously very sticky. It's very flat 3G, so if you can put pressure on the ball, then no one's really good enough to play at ground teams at that point.
And then the second half, it seemed like it was mostly one-way traffic.
Oh, 100%. It was completely one-way traffic. I thought, like I say, they were scrambling the whole half. It was ironic that the crowd were laying at the EM when they hadn't put 2 passes together all half. But that's a bit of disrespect that we had to deal with. But again, it didn't put us off. We kept going. And like you say, it was one-way traffic. It was just about the amount of good positions we got in for a cross, or that our set pieces weren't quite as on point as maybe they always are. But that was all that was lacking. And then obviously we had a little chance at the end where we could have nicked the equaliser. But yeah, it's so much good stuff to look forward to. And frustrated with a couple of the big decisions. Thought the referee, to be fair to him, had a good game in the main, but there's 2 big decisions there where I think if we're at home we probably get them, and that's a shame. It shouldn't be based on that. It should be based on the actual decisions themselves.
So all in all, frustration on the day, but we've given a real good account of ourselves.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, obviously, I think it's been live streamed. Anyone who's watching will, no one can say that we weren't the better team second half and towards the end of the first half. And it's something to build on. We get a game again quite quickly on Tuesday at home and under the lights in front of our own fans. And that's perfect, because I think, there's still so much good stuff there that we've done and we can keep building on.
Absolutely, and as I say, game on Tuesday, what's your thoughts ahead of the 8?
Just like I say, it's always nice to have a chance to right some wrongs pretty quickly. And I thought a couple of players came on and did very, very well. I thought Gianni came on and was excellent, and he's put himself in the frame for potentially, being involved a bit more on Tuesday. I thought Finn did really well as well. But we know that every game is going to be a fight and a scrap, and you've got to earn those 3 points. And today, like we say, I think we earned more than we got, but we'll be looking to put that right Tuesday.
Absolutely. Tim, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks.